And now, look, speaking of Trump and presidential nominations, the right side of politics in America is quite polarized at the moment in terms of their support for either Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis in the upcoming Republican primaries. You know, it's quite a fractured right at the moment. Chris, what do you think? Trump or DeSantis? And remember, this is a judgment-free zone. You can say whatever you want.
Let me tell you, America is no longer divided. America is backing Donald Trump. It used to be, there was an argument for a while. And I was going out, I was talking to people, you know, in the real world. I was going to Republican events. I was talking to actual Republican voters. And I was asking them what they thought. And it was about a 50-50 split for a while there. A lot of people really loved Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is great. There's a couple of problems with Ron DeSantis, though. One, he's not a billionaire. And two, he's not a proven asset. We know that Trump is a proven asset. We know what he can do in the White House. We're not exactly sure what DeSantis can do. We think we know, but he's not actually done it. He's not been the president, so we're guessing at this point. But the problem with DeSantis not being a billionaire, it sounds ridiculous. Like a billionaire is going to be a better president, right? But with Trump, he can't really be bought. What are you going to bribe Trump with? You know what I mean? You can bribe DeSantis. You can blackmail DeSantis. You can find dirt on him, or you can manufacture dirt on him. With Trump, I don't think they can do that. They've tried, obviously, a lot to do it, and Trump has withstood all of that. So Trump has proven himself to be more or less bulletproof. He can't be bribed. There's one more thing. There's a third issue here that's just sort of my take. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this. Ron DeSantis really isn't that funny. Donald Trump is hilarious. Yeah. You watch any Donald Trump speech, there's at least one moment where you will laugh. Even if you're a Democrat, you're going to be like, okay, that was a good one. You know, Ron DeSantis doesn't really do that. He doesn't have the hang of it. You know, and I think it's because Donald Trump is what we call a natural, right? He can get up in front of an audience, and he's not like a stand-up comedian. He's not that funny, but he occasionally comes out with some pretty good stuff. You know, he's just very natural on stage, and he can joke around, and it's cool and it's funny. Ron DeSantis kind of manufactures the authenticity that Trump has naturally. Ron DeSantis is a tough guy. I think he's definitely a right-wing guy. I think he believes what he says, but he's more of a politician. He's manufacturing that brand. Trump's brand is, I think, very authentic.
I think you have a really good point there. I mean, Ron DeSantis is so fabulous in Florida, isn't he? He's done such fabulous things, pushing back against woke ideology, against Disney, against critical race theory, against children being mutilated thanks to trans ideology. But I think that running for president has actually been very exposing for him. You know, he was very, very kind of safe in Florida. And as you say, Trump is so funny. He's so hilarious. He's so quick-witted, and he is sharp as a tack. Why do you think DeSantis even chose to run this time round? He's a young guy. He's in his early 40s. He's got a great job. People love him in Florida. He's up against Trump, who's going to do nothing but attack him and attack his brand, and he's going to get compared to Trump. Why run now? Why 2024?
Oh, I can tell you exactly why. I mean, I know people connected to Donald Trump, and they've told me exactly why. And it's that you've got what they call in America the donor class, right? The donor class is a group of millionaires and billionaires that go around and they make decisions on who they want to run for president. And they will court you, and they will come to you and they will say, listen, this is our plan for you to be president. And they'll say, you're so pretty, and you're so smart, and you're so charming. We want you to be president. And you see how as soon as Ron DeSantis decided to run for president, he suddenly got super skinny.
Yes, he did.
That was part of the development of him creating an image that he could become president. The problem is he was tempted, right? He was tempted by this donor class of never Trumpers. There's a certain class of people that doesn't like Trump. There's a certain group of people. They're investors. They want to invest in the president. And some of these guys are deep state operators. They're people that work with government, not in the best interest of the American people, but in their own best interest. A lot of people, they think, oh, the deep state is this like mysterious, Q conspiracy theory. No. The deep state is very simple. You've got a deep state in Australia. You've got a deep state in the UK. You've got a deep state everywhere. Basically, the deep state is just people who are embedded in government for like their whole lives. They're lifelong employees that manufacture policies and whatnot in order to benefit themselves and their friends as opposed to the American people. There are politicians who do the same thing. There's people on Wall Street that do the same thing. There's billionaires that come in and they exert influence, special interest groups, teachers unions, stuff like that. They'll come in and they'll manipulate the policies of the federal government, again, not for the interest of the American people, but for their own best interest. That to me is the deep state. And those are the people that they constantly want money flowing through New York, through the stock exchange, through DC, and they want the politicians to go with them with this, and they will enrich these politicians. That's how so many politicians get rich, is they're playing ball. Trump does not play ball. Trump is a burr, in the shoe of the deep state. And they're just like, they want to dig that out. They want to get rid of Trump. They can't stand him because he stops that flow of money. The deep state hates Donald Trump, and that's why Donald Trump needs to be president again.